Buying jeans can be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
To your point, do I go high, low, wide, skinny?
I do know that with youth, I go low, and then with age, I go high. Here in Japan, I'm meeting Levi Strauss CEO Michelle Gass to talk bold moves, big reinventions, to find out how she's shaking up a 170-year-old denim brand. Did you know the first pair of 501s was created more than 150 years ago? In 1873, Levi Strauss and tailor Jacob Davis patented the copper-riveted denim pants, which made it more durable. Over the decades, Levi's has become a recognizable brand worldwide, worn by everyone from miners and cowboys to musicians and cultural influencers. Today, the San Francisco-based company remains one of the top names in denim globally. So Michelle, you're usually based in San Francisco. What brings you, the CEO of Levi's, to Tokyo?
I love coming to Tokyo. I love coming to Japan. You know, this is the global hub of denim culture. And we get so much inspiration from what is happening in this market. What you see in the streets, we go to vintage shops, and it's a big inspiration for what is now our Blue Tab line.
What's so special about this premium line?
Yeah, so it does start with the denim, and Japanese denim is simply the best there is. It really is. People believe that and expect it. We have sold Japanese denim for quite some time, and our consumers seek it out. And that was the inspiration to create this Blue Tab line.
What's so special about the Japanese way of making denim?
Oh, it's the craftsmanship, the artistry, the attention to detail. You see it and feel it in the product. I mean, it really is the best that's out there.
To see what makes this premium denim line Blue Tab so special, I head to the very place where these jeans are crafted. And I get a behind-the-scenes look at the artistry behind every distress, finish, stitch. The vintage look of it is more costly, right? Because of all the extra finishing touches you're putting on a pair of jeans.
Exactly.
And wash. So these are special washing machines to wash the jeans. These are in the washing machine itself.
Right.
You're the first woman CEO in Levi Strauss's 170-year-old history. What is your vision, your ambition for the world's most famous denim brand?
My vision is basically take us from being the world's most famous and beloved pair of jeans to being the definitive denim lifestyle brand. And I'm confident we're going to get there.
You've also set yourself a financial target, a goal. You want to take the brand from a $6 billion business to a $10 billion company. How are you going to get there?
Yeah.
Where will most of that growth come from?
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity for us. And well, first, it does start with becoming this head-to-toe denim lifestyle brand. And what does that mean? It means first, tops and outerwear and jackets and anything that you sort of can make with denim, because we should be, no question, the leader there, but then the complements to denim. And what we're seeing is as we've been going after these opportunities, the consumer is responding. And along with that is really growing the women's business.
Levi's customer base has historically been male-dominated, but over the past decade, the brand has been steadily expanding its women's business. Today, women account for just under 40% of Levi's sales. The company's goal is to lift that share to 50%. So what big moves are you making to get women to spend more at your stores?
Yes.
What changes are we seeing?
Well, first, it does start with the product. Let's talk about jeans, let's talk about denim bottoms. We have got to be leading and driving the trends. And over the last 5 years, we've already done a great job on that. Secondly, is back to the wardrobe. So there's a lot of opportunities beyond jeans, things like denim skirts, denim dresses, denim jumpsuits, you name it. You know, as it relates to tops, I will tell you, over time, we have been inconsistent. And we had to do a major reset about 1.5 years ago. We brought in new talent, we changed our go-to-market, we brought in new vendors, and we're now seeing the momentum on that tops business pick
So
up.
you've got 4 seasons now instead of 2. What does it mean logistically behind the scenes? Is it a big overhaul?
Oh, it is. We like to talk about it at the company as a complete rewire. because we have, if you take this go-to-market or what we call C2C, concept to consumer, we've had to basically take a piece of white paper and completely rethink it. From the lead times, the expectations of our vendors, how design works with product development, works with supply chain, all in terms of thinking about that fan at the center and how do we serve them today with what they want, but importantly, how do we peek around the corner and really set the expectation for what's to come? So it has, and it's every person in the company has been impacted by this, but I'm happy to say we're making great progress.
For Levi's, the Americas remain its largest market, contributing nearly half of its global revenue, followed by Europe. Asia currently accounts for about 20%, but it's a region the company expects to grow much faster in the years ahead. Which market are you most excited about here in Asia?
Well, one market I would say that just has so much upside from where we sit today is India. And I would say a couple things. Number one, there we've already made a lot of inroads as being known for more of a denim lifestyle, head to toe. The team has done a great job. But when I think about the opportunity, the population, how youthful it is, there's a ton of upside in India. So that probably, in terms of sheer growth, will be one of our fastest growing, biggest growth markets as we point to 10 billion. But I would say across Asia, there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, Japan has been one of our fastest growing markets the last couple of years, and we're expecting that to continue with all the great product that's coming out. And even China, which, you know, I would say to date, we have not been a great success there, but we're not giving up. And
what are you doing in China?
Well, we're doing a reset, is what I would say. We, for a variety of reasons, a lot of which I'd say we own, we just have not executed to our potential. So
what's holding you back from doing more in China right now?
I don't think anything. You know, I think we have to get the right leadership team, and we've brought in some great new leaders, and we have more coming that have deep retail capability, better real estate. And I think in China, we have been trying to figure out what that right balance is between core Levi's, what's consistent around the globe versus what is nuanced and unique for China. And we're figuring that out. But I have confidence we're going to get there because that's a really important market for us long term.
When you look at Asia, do you have a target? How much do you want Asia to contribute to your ambitious $10 billion revenue goal?
I will say that it will be significant. But we expect outsized growth from Asia relative to our more mature markets. Still expect growth in the US, still expect some growth in Europe, but my expectation is that Asia will outpace that.
For the 170-year-old denim icon, staying relevant is key. Levi's teamed up with superstar Beyonce in a year-long campaign after she name-checked the brand in her Cowboy Carter album with the track Levi's Jeans. Was the collaboration a dream come true?
It was. I mean, as kicking off my first year at CEO and to forge a partnership with arguably, you know, the most famous and celebrated artist of our generation, I mean, you couldn't ask for more. And how this came about, you know, I love how it came about because it was so organic. I mean, it literally came out of Beyonce naming a song after us. Our team did a great job in asking the question, could there be more? And starting a conversation, and what it led to was just this historic partnership for us, and it's done really well.
While Levi's partnerships have seen success, challenges remain. The company is in the middle of a major reset, cutting up to 15% of its global workforce as part of a broader restructuring. It has also been trimming its portfolio, offloading Dockers earlier this year after already phasing out Denizen and shutting down its European footwear business. How painful was the process letting go of legacy businesses and laying off people?
Yeah, it's very painful. I think especially with people, if it's not painful, then there's a problem. And I take these things extremely seriously. We needed to get leaner. We needed to get a lot faster. We needed to get more decisive. And so the restructure and the tough decision that, you know, I executed in really the first few months of me being CEO was a necessary move for the long-term health of the company. Difficult, of course, but you
bit the bullet.
We did, and you know, and it's the way you do it, right? And we did it consistent with our culture, right? We took care of people as they left the company. We were empathetic, and we've also realigned how some of our functions are operating to make sure we can operate as a DTC first company. And we're on our way, and I'm pleased with the progress.
The external environment is now very challenging. How much are you able to absorb the tariffs, and how much are you able to pass on the cost to your customers without hurting demand?
Yeah, well, first I would say as it relates to tariffs is that I feel like for Levi's, we are structurally advantaged and better than most. And I say that in the spirit of, while 40% of our business is the US and it's still our biggest market, 60% is international. So that gives us a benefit there as it relates to the total tariff load that's hitting us. We have a very diverse source base, decades-long relationship with our suppliers, a lot of flexibility there. And in the right places, we do have pricing power. And we're being super thoughtful and surgical about that. I mean, one of the things we've been doing, frankly, over the last year has been focused more on full price selling. So you end up getting better margin through that, and it's a more elevated experience for the consumer. And if you look over history, the company has weathered many points of uncertainty, many storms, and we're still here and we're still thriving.
So out of curiosity,
Yeah.
how many pairs of jeans do you own since becoming CEO of Levi's?
I've lost count. I've lost count. I mean, I've certainly purchased more than 100 with all my
More than
travel.
100?
Oh yeah.
Where do you store them?
Oh yeah, I have stacks and stacks in my closet. Yes. Luckily they fold up nice and neat.
Okay. Michelle Gass is the first woman to lead the iconic American denim brand in its 170-year history. Before joining Levi's, she served as CEO of US retailer Kohl's and spent nearly 17 years at Starbucks, where she helped launch the famed pumpkin spice latte. Now Gass is reimagining what's next for Levi's. So you have 35 years of retail and consumer goods experience. But is it true you came from a background of chemical engineering?
That is true, indeed.
How is that
Yes,
possible?
Yes. I love the fact that I had this engineering foundation, because by its very nature, when you study engineering, you study problem solving. And I've been doing problem solving all my career. It's very useful, yes, yes.
As the first woman CEO of Levi Strauss, 170-year history, how would you describe your leadership and your management style?
So one is, I always start with, I'm a servant leader. I'm here to serve the teams. I don't have all the answers, right? The ideas come from the teams, and my responsibility is to set an environment where people feel like they can be heard, right? They can be themselves, bringing diverse groups around the table. And I think ultimately where everybody can see themselves as part of the vision of the company. So when we achieve that bold vision, they're going to be right there with me. I would say secondly is it's about listening. And it's listening from every part of the company. It's why I do spend so much time in the stores, in the field. Everything they do matters, and I want to make sure they know they matter, but I'm also here to listen and learn. And then the third piece is, I would say, do all that, but have a performance edge, right? Be decisive, be bold, be fast, be willing to make a mistake. And that all will ultimately fuel what I believe is going to be our great success. The 10 billion, being a DTC first retailer, and owning denim lifestyle.
And finally, I'm going to ask you the classic Levi's CEO question. How often do you wash your jeans? What's the ruling here?
The ruling is you don't wash them very often. And I will say I now subscribe to that protocol.
Okay.
Yes.
And when do you wash your jeans?
Yes. I don't know if I have a set amount of time. It just depends when they need it. But I think the important thing is when you wash it on gentle cycle, and you don't dry them.
Michelle, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you, Christine. It's a pleasure.